Hello everyone, welcome to the third lecture of chapter 3. In this lecture, we are going to talk about what is phenomenology and what is a phenomenological research, the procedure and the challenges of a phenomenological research. So, if we talk about phenomenology, in a phenomenological research, we are basically trying to describe the experiences of different people and how they have, went through all of that. What were the things that they do? What was its impact? Was it good? Was it bad? What were the reasons? We understand, we go and we analyze their experiences. We usually are focusing on a certain area, and then we see that how those people experience and what do they experience in that particular time. We usually talk about the first person point of view. We tell people what were their experiences about a certain phenomena. In this research, as I said, we are talking about the experiences of different people. It is different from narrative research. Remember, in narrative research, we were talking about the experiences of one person, whereas in the phenomenological research, we are talking about the experiences of different people in common. For example, what the impact of monetary incentives in a certain company. So the experiences of everyone in that particular company, and what was the impact of the monetary incentives that we give them. Whereas in narrative, we will be talking about only one person. So here we are going to talk about the individual experiences in individually, and then we're going to combine them to give a universal essence that okay, in a certain type of company, this is the impact of the monetary incentives. There are different characteristics in phenomenological research. We try to see that how what was the experiences of a certain person in a particular situation. We usually conduct in-depth conversations or interviews with them. The most commonly used data collection tool in a phenomenological research is interviews. These interviews are mostly like more into a conversational interviews. We may also collect data from different diaries. For example, we can ask the people to maintain a diary and write about what they are experiences. We can even ask them to observe. We can ask them to even write a reflective paragraph. We usually have 8 to 10 people. We don't conduct interviews of hundreds of people. The sample size is usually 10 or less in a phenomenological research. That 10 can be different from different departments or from different level as well. The interviews are open ended. They allow participants to fully describe their experience from their point of view. We usually keep it semi structured so that they can add a lot of things as well. The In this research, we don't give much value to the social or the cultural norms or the traditions, but we are more about their experiences and what they are saying. We talk about their lived space, that what was the space they were living on, what was the time, what was the relationships of the different people. As we said that the data collection in phenomenological research is more qualitative. We try to analyze their interviews and develop different themes, and then we try to generalize those themes in that particular situation as per their own experiences. uh, if we want to conduct a phenomenological research, the first thing that you need to see that whether you are investigating the experiences or the impact of a group of people. If you are, then you will be using a phenomenological research. There can be different phenomena. There can be anger, professionalism. There can be different. There can be different situations that you might be researching on. So you need to go there. You need to see that okay, these are the group, this is the department, or these are the kind of people who I want to examine on, and then you go and you collect data from them. As I said, your data collection technique would most probably be in-depth interviews, and then you conduct multiple interviews. You don't only conduct interview at one time, but you conduct interviews at multiple times in multiple situations, so that you can easily compare that okay, were they more comfortable at home, were they more comfortable at a coffee shop, were they more comfortable in their office, were they more comfortable in the cafeteria, so that you can analyze the data and you can see whether they are telling you the truth or not, and what is their body language. Are they fearing something? I mean, do they have a fear that they might be terminated from the company or something? So you go and you analyze all of that, you observe them as well. Then in the data analysis, we usually try to find out the themes, whatever they have said. We transcribe them, we write them down, we understand what they have written, the textual descriptions that they have done. We understand what was the essence of the phenomena, what were they trying to say. We try to read between the lines, and then we develop themes accordingly. There are different challenges as well. Although phenomenological research gives you an in-depth understanding of what they have experienced, we need to have a proper data collection technique. We don't usually use a single interview. We use multiple interviews, which sometimes the participants might get offended or might not want to give you multiple interviews. But this is one of the requirements. I mean, not a necessary requirement, but a recommended requirement. And then you need to have a broader understanding about the phenomena, about what is going on. What your research, whatever you are researching on, you should have an idea, you should have done a background study, so that you are easily able to understand what did they experienced and how did they experienced. I mean, what is their interpretation. You need to carefully choose your individuals. You need to make sure that your individual did experience that certain phenomena. And and that can go for a common understanding. For example, if you are only taking interviews of the managers, so you won't know how the team was feeling about the same thing. So you need to make sure that you are sampling in the correct way. Then even you need to understand that what are your personal understanding, because as I said, in qualitative research you will be introducing that as well. So you will need to understand what did they say, what you need to read in between the lines, and then you need to describe what did you interpret it. So in phenomenological research, you are basically researching about the experiences of different people about a certain phenomena, about, as explained in my example as well, that what were they feeling about the online education. See, so that can be a phenomenological research. So I can go and I can conduct interviews. I can conduct, if I'm conducting like 10 interviews, I can take 5 from females, 5 from males, and then I can divide them into age groups. I can divide them into years of education, the kind of education, different departments, so that I have some experiences from there. I'll have a different experience from all of them, and then I can say, okay, generally this is what MBA students feel about online education. This would be the end of the third lecture. Thank you.